What's your process?
This is this is a good question. It's really good. Yeah, it is. So what I do, because I don't have that gift, I'm like, man, I don't remember anything. So what I do is I make like an emotional outline in my head of where each scene goes, and I know that there are certain places that emotionally that will go to, and I use that as my guide point. I like fill the words like cement into all those areas. And as I do the rehearsal, it all comes together. But I'm always in a state of panic. Even if I have 2 lines, I'm in a state of panic always, and I'm constantly, because I'm nearsighted, I have like little sides, I'm looking at them right before we take, and then when we do it, I'm there going by my emotional blueprint. So it's interesting because you are just able to take away. I love hearing this stuff. It's great. Because we don't really, it's funny, like even on Twilight, because when you meet actors on sets, and you'll discover this, you're always so guarded. And you're just looking to find ways to chill out and make sure you work well with people. And to just have a chance to share yourself, it's great. So thank you guys, and thank you.
Yeah. I actually got to say one thing about that, because I like that question.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. said once that the way he studies his lines, and I always like this, and it was one of the ways that I considered working for a while, and it just didn't work for me. But he memorizes his lines, so he reads them, he just studies them so hardcore that he eventually can say his lines, but just the first letter of each word. So literally, he'll be like, if the line is, "There's a red apple," it would be like T-A-R-A, and then he can go through all this stuff, like all his lines, because he knows it's so hardcore, they just spit it out like that. And I thought that was interesting. I kind of go like almost the opposite route, and just like I kind of like not knowing what I'm about to say, and just being like pulling for it, and just knowing it's there, because I'm pretty good at just kind of making sure it's there. And luckily, I've had a bunch of directors who let me be a little bit loose with their scripts, so that's the best. That's what helps. That really helps. You're just like, well, I'm just gonna make it last here.
Yeah.
Just gonna rewrite your script, buddy.
Yeah. Can I give you one more to that? Because this is a really good question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You were like, yes.
Yeah. All right. No, so when I was starting out, I got to work with Harvey Keitel at one point and Christopher Walken, and I was really nervous about meeting both of them. And then they were both pretty insecure, but they have really interesting ways of learning their lines. Harvey Keitel does not learn his lines. He has someone write them on like 8 foot, and they're just, there's a
whiteboard.
Yeah, there's a PA holding his lines. And
Marilyn Monroe used to do that.
Yeah, Marilyn Monroe, Brando, it's that kind of
Cue cards, big cue cards.
Right, and Chris Walken, who is the loveliest guy in the world, one of the loveliest people, he just takes all his dialogue. This is great, and he takes away all the punctuation and all the capitalizations, and he just makes it all just words. And then I had heard he did that, and then to work with him and see him do it was so great. So he literally throws inflections in unexpected places because he feels that. So it's just cool to see guys that we've seen and how they work, and then hearing how we're working. So,
Who's your favorite actor or actress?
Oh wow, that's a good question too.
Yeah. It bounces around a lot for me. I gotta say, Robert Downey Jr., man. I've been really kind of like going back over his work, and I've tried studying, all my, like my peers, back in the day and whatnot. And I was really into River Phoenix for a while, just kind of studying a lot of his films. He had a soul, man. He just really kind of wore his heart on his sleeve. I honestly think he was a better James Dean. He just, you can get shot for saying that in some places, in every New York acting school. What do you mean, man? James Dean's a genius. I got a lot of eyes. Luke Perry. But it's one of those things. I think Downey's, I just love the way he works. He's so effortless. And Iron Man, I think he was just damn incredible in. And I've always been a Jack Nicholson fan. I'll watch anything he does. I would like anything. I don't care. Like one of his earliest films is an old. God, what was that? What's the name of that director? But it was way back in the day. Like Jack is so young, and it's just this really, really bad horror film. And like, no, it's way before Shining. And that's an amazing movie. That was great. Wait a second now.
Hold on here. Stop the boat.
Yeah, no, yeah. So it's like man, I've always kind of like studied like most actors' careers, but yeah, right now it's been like a really kind of like big Downey Jack Nicholson like kick I've been on for the last 3 years.
I don't know. Do we have a favorite? I love George Clooney.
Oh yeah.
You know, probably because he's so cute. I just saw him in Men Who Stare at Goats, and it was pretty good. But he had such a great role in that. It was awesome. I thought, his acting in that was pretty darn good. So hopefully the movie will get some good reviews, because I don't know, people were like, it wasn't. It was funny. All the women liked it, but the guys were just like,
I wonder why.
George.
Yeah, well, that's a great question, because you can answer that on so many levels. You can have favorites of different types of acting, maybe. But Robert Downey's a great actor in terms of that's my generation. Those guys are. Sean Penn is great. But I guess I love. I used to love Robert De Niro. Maybe it's De Niro, I guess. But then what happens with me is I then start to see the reality of what it is to be an actor, and then what it is to be part of the machine of publicity, and then the break and the right film. So I've now grown to love like the sort of character actors from the 50s that I see over and over, and that would be somebody like Cassavetes was a great actor on some level, but he became a director. I kind of love all actors in a way, just for the tragedy of becoming an actor. And, and then the guys that move you are just amazing. Like Robert Downey's been through so much stuff. I mean, the guy, he's got so much strength of character and just will. But Pacino, I actually love Pacino. That's the one. I love him because I think I'm in love with him. I was a guy in high school who looked just like Pacino. I used to follow him around. He was Cuban too. It was weird. But I got to work with Al actually in a hotel room for 4 days because he has the shit. So I'll just be quick. So Al and I are in a hotel room working on a script for a movie because he doesn't read. He just likes to have scripts read and work on them. That's how he figures out his story. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, he doesn't read. He has so we're doing this thing for 4 days, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, oh my God, Al, I was in love. I wanted to be like that. I wanted to be a hunched, in love with tragic girls and bell bottoms kind of guy, just like him. So then we did this stuff together, and then he just said, last thing, he goes, no more work, let's just talk. And I asked him questions, and he told me all these amazing stories about how now you don't do plays. Like in his day, he was lucky. He had a chance to be a star on stage and then get discovered on film. Now you have to bust your ass in television. It was amazing. But I think it's Pacino, because I just wanted to be that. I love him. I mean, I hate to admit it because he's such a fake actor now, but he's a great actor. Anyway, that's my